the communication factor is key. Now, you say to me, what is the difference between communication and interview? Well, interviewing is a skill set, the ability to be able to answer questions on a concise level, capture who you are, and convince that interviewer that he or she should be hiring you for the job. So it's almost like a sales pitch. Think about it. The communication factor is your ability to be able to articulate what you're saying clearly so that the individual understands it. So we have individuals that have accents. I have an accent. Most New Yorkers have an accent. But how clear is the accent? Can the individual who is interviewing you understand what you're saying? Does your accent sound charming, or is it just totally discombobulated and everywhere? So communication is another key factor that plays into the matrix of our evaluation. The person's expectations. Now, we have people coming into our office all the time looking to make $200 an hour. I mean, I'm exaggerating, of course. But when you think of applying for a job, whether it's a financial analyst position with 5 years experience or an administrative assistant position with 2 years experience, there are different realistic expectations based on the years of experience you have, the type of job you're doing, your educational background, and also the company that you may be applying to work for. So one organization may be paying a certain amount of money while another one may not. When you're looking for work, the key thing for a recruiter or a hiring manager is flexibility with pay rates. Everybody wants to cut down on their overhead expenses and cutting on salaries and cutting on the pay rates and so on and so forth. You have to be smart to know what your value is out there as a person looking for a job. And if you know that you're an admin and you've worked for 2 years and you've been paid $18 to $20 an hour in your past 2 years, it's not unreasonable for you to ask for $20 an hour. But at the same time, be flexible enough to realize that maybe the company you're applying to can be paying the same skill set at $18 an hour. It may be a non-for-profit organizations. And like I said, some companies pay a different price or rate based on the type of industry, the type of budgets they've got, the size of the company, and so on and so forth. So if you're really looking for a job, keep that in mind, that you're not just always looking at, oh, I've made $20 an hour and I'm not going to budge. Be flexible. You never know what opportunity that might be popping up around the corner, and a dollar less can just get you in the door and get you growing within the company in no time at all. So expectations is something that we need to be mindful of. Be realistic with your expectations. The last criteria, number 9, is test. Now the first 8 criteria, we grade them from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. And with the testing score, 1 is the lowest and 20 is the highest. Altogether, you get a score of 100%. So we evaluate everybody from 1 to 10. 10, of course, is the highest. Someone who is a 10 is a superstar in my book, and they are rare. It's rare that I ever give anybody a 10 score, or any of my recruiters give an individual a number 10, but sometimes it happens, and there are wonderful surprises. It could be that the person is a 10 on one of these line items, a 9 or an 8 on another one, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, what we do is that we tally up all of these percentages, and we come up to a ratio of 100 out of 100%. And out of the ratio of 100%, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different factors that result from that interview. We either have a superstar, we have a star, we have somebody who is a good, potentially good employee, somebody who is average, or somebody who is a do not use. And our ratio is from anyone over 75% and above is going to be given an opportunity to work for our clients. Anyone falling below 75%, we call that individual a DNU, do not use. They are either a potential liability, or they are just not somebody that we know that we can accurately place and successfully gain a long-term situation out of that. The superstar is the individual that scores 91% and higher. That superstar for me is an individual that I can send to, or any of my recruiters can send to any of our clients, and we know he or she is going to do an amazing job. The star is the individual scoring between 86 and 90. Most people fall in that range. And these are the individuals that you know will do a good job. They've actually proven themselves to be good employees in the past. They have a stable track record of employment, interview well, test well, parents great, but not quite up to a superstar level. And you think about a superstar, and I'm not saying that the person has to be the most beautiful or the most polished in the world, but the person have to connect with you in a way that makes you feel confident that he or she is going to go out and not disappoint you. We're dealing with a human capital product here, and oftentimes we as an agency have had situations where people will cancel at the last moment and just wake up one morning and say, I'm not going into work today because my head is hurting me. And I mean, I understand the reality that we get sick or we have problems that pop up in our lives, but people who are serious about finding employment have to go above and beyond the expectations of what an interviewer or a potential hiring manager is looking for. So just to give you an idea of what an interviewer or what a staffing agency or what any kind of company that's looking to hire someone may use as a matrix to judge you or to evaluate your skill sets, this is a template that probably can be utilized in many agencies or many companies. And it may not be in the same format, it may have different elements to it, but from our perspective as a staffing agency, I have found that these 9 elements have worked beautifully in allowing us to evaluate everybody who come into our door and come up with one number that represents the individual's potential to be a candidate for employment. I hope this has been helpful to you, and I hope you've learned a little bit about the inner workings of a staffing agency. Thank you, and look forward to your comments.